Welcome to A Double
and
Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage,
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 44 of A Double and Dice, and today we're going to talk about Roll for the North
2!
There we go. The Marshmallow Man 2. And today...
No, it's not the Marshmallow Man.
Yes, it is the Marshmallow. It should be the Marshmallow.
No, it's the ghost.
I know. I'm so sad about this. I should remake the poster. That's what I should.
Remember, we had the whole pop culture train wreck section that talked
That's
about
true.
this last episode.
Yes, true. Okay. So, we're going to talk about Roll for the North, which is coming up soon. And we're actually going to do some team building today as well for that. But we do have a special guest with us today. Do we know who that is?
We do know who it is. Should we say who it is?
Should we?
Should we say it now?
Should we say his full name?
No. Just the name of his business.
And where to find him? No kidding. No. We have Mr. Jordan with us today. Hi, Matt.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good, thanks.
you
Were
for
you
joining
holding
us.
in your laughter?
I was.
There is a mute button for you on the
I
screen.
was biting my lip, going, okay. Keep
Yes,
it
there is a
together.
mute button.
We brought Dr. Teeth along with us today.
Yes.
Thank you, Matt, for prearranging your schedule to be here. I know we planned this ages and ages ago.
Yes, it was difficult,
we were
but I
on your
made time
calendar
for
a long time,
I made time for this. It was very important, so I'm happy to be here.
Roll for the North.
2. I was waiting for actually Matt to say it.
I didn't know what to say.
I was giving him an opportunity to say 2.
Okay, Matt, next time it's your turn.
Next time, okay, I
Yes,
got
wait
it.
for it. Okay, it comes
Yeah,
up at
got
any
it.
time. Okay.
So Roll for the North 2 is the unofficial Canadian Nationals that we are going to be putting on online on,
October 23rd.
right, which is coming up not long after this episode releases.
It should be this same week.
Yep, this Saturday.
Okay.
This coming Saturday. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to bring Matt on, talk a little bit about Roll for the North, and then maybe build a team while we were all on the mic together. In case you are uninspired and not sure where to start.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes. So this time, our tournament starts at 12 o'clock Eastern. And I don't know, that's 5 o'clock UK time, 10
It's 5 or
o'clock.
6. I don't know exactly.
It
the
depends where
math
you
on
are,
that.
I think. Yeah,
I
9
think
a.m.
it's- Yeah.
Pacific.
Yeah. Check your local time zone. Type in 12 o'clock Eastern and then find out where it is. But I'm pretty sure it's 9 a.m. in the Pacific time zone.
Yep.
And where Mr. Matt lives, it would be 10 a.m.
10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Central
He has to
time
get
is
up
11.
bright and early. And if you're on in Europe, then it would be, I think, 6 p.m. if you're in Europe, like Central European time, and 5 p.m. in the UK. But double check your time zones. I don't know what time it would be in Australia. We do have an occasional Australia listener.
Do you?
So, yeah, so if you wanted to play, check your local time zone. It's probably at a ridiculous time for you, and we apologize in advance.
My guess is it's the next day at 2 a.m.
Probably.
Probably.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it might be a bit
But you know
late.
who would know? Google. Google would know.
Yes, Google would know. Okay, so our date is Saturday, October 23rd, starting at 12 o'clock Eastern. What's our theme, Matt? What's our theme, Matt?
Our team theme?
A theme?
The
Our
theme of the Roll for the North.
The theme for Roll for the North is single affiliation, but doubled. So double single affiliation.
So what does that
Double
mean?
your
What does that mean?
affection.
That basically
All your
means
cards have to have 2 affiliations on them.
almost. That would be interesting, actually.
That's what we're calling the double affiliation. And we think that should be next year's theme.
Yeah, next year.
We'll look into it. We'll see if we get any product by then that has extra affiliations on it. No, it's basically you're going to have 2 half teams, we'll call it. Half of your team must be one affiliation, and the other half must be another affiliation, different from the first one. Your basic actions must match the universe that your affiliations come from.
And we can only use Marvel and DC, right?
Only Marvel and DC, so no, unfortunately, no Becky's, even if it's just for the globals.
Oh.
That
But
we've
you
now.
could have a Black Widow.
Yes.
You could have a Black Widow.
Just
Yes.
remember the second sentence of that, people. Just remember the second, because you know what? That will be a big one for this tournament. You know how much globals people are going to use on your Black Widow.
There might
So
be
pay
one or
attention.
two. But yeah, no D&D, no, unfortunately, no Turtles. That made me sad. But yeah, DC and Marvel only.
Yeah,
Right.
and there's a few other restrictions, and we're not going to get into all of that because Matt and Laurier have already done an amazing YouTube video where they talked a lot about why the event was set up the way it was and why certain things were banned. So you can check that out on youtube.com/dmNorthTV, and we'll make sure to link that particular video in the show notes. And then you can also head over to dm-north.com under the Roll for the North tab on the main page, and it has all of the bans. So there's a few bans, big ones. The AVX and Uncanny X-Men sets are completely eliminated from team building.
Yes.
And there's a couple of other smaller individual card bans.
Yeah, we tried to stay as hands-off as possible just to keep it as fun as possible. So yeah, our bans are mostly for the cards or the characters that are going to really make the day not fun for people. So we just tried to take the really, really bad things out. We've left a lot of bad things in, but again, it is still a tournament at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the big thing that we haven't talked about yet is the tier list, which is something different, and I don't think we've seen that in any online tournaments so far.
No, okay, so we created a list of tiers for the affiliation. So basically we ranked the affiliations as, we called the tier ones where basically they have all the tools and they can win kind of almost on their own type of thing. Just really strong affiliations. Those are the tier ones. Again, you can find all this information on dm-north.com as to what they are. Tier 3, we kind of put the ones that are subpar.
Or have less to choose from.
No, not necessarily, because we left the hand as tier 2.
Well,
but basically we put the affiliations that if you bring those to the day, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to you. But the reason we tiered them is because, again, we didn't want to ban all of the problematic cards, and we wanted to kind of tailor this event to the players. So if you were a competitive player, go ahead, use the strong affiliations and have a good day. If you're more of a kind of the Nick type players, then maybe you're going to want to play with tier 2, tier 3, kind of the lower class affiliations and the more janky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea was we want to kind of reward, I guess, the people who are willing to kind of go a little lower level. So that's the tiers basically tie into your raffle tickets. So this event is all raffle tickets. There's no the first place winner. They get bragging rights, and that's about it. You're going to win raffle tickets for your wins. You're going to win raffle tickets just for showing up for a game. And then those raffle tickets are going to go into the prize pool. And your affiliations are going to determine how valuable your raffle tickets are. So the lower the affiliation, the higher value your tickets are going to be. Does that make sense?
So let's say it does. So let's say you have like a tier 1 for half your team and a tier 3 for the other half. How does that work?
Essentially, we are going to rank your team based on the highest tier affiliation you have on your team. So if you were to run X-Men and Suicide Squad, even though Suicide Squad is a tier 3 team, your team is going to be considered tier 1 because you are using a tier 1 affiliation.
And I mean, let's be honest. If you put X-Men and Suicide Squad on the team, you're probably only buying the X-Men anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I tried to build a Suicide Squad team just for a joke, and I couldn't even do it.
Is the good King Shark in that affiliation?
No,
it's not. It's not
true,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's sad.
it's the uncommon one, right? That's in that one.
I
uncommon or
think
common?
so.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the one where you have to sacrifice him to do something. I'm going, why would I sacrifice my big, beefy
Your
body?
biggest guy. Yeah.
The one that you spent like 6 or 7 energy to purchase.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
yeah, he's Team Watch too. Yeah,
yeah,
he's Team Watch. Sacrifice him to do
so
2 damage to all opposing character dice.
yeah.
There's
So
a lot cheaper ways to do that.
exactly. So yeah, basically the highest tier affiliation you have on your team, that is your rank.
I didn't even know that. See? We're learning.
Well, that's why we brought Jordo with us tonight.
So it doesn't
this-
matter if you mix and match. It's just gonna base on the highest tier. Is what?
Yeah. So if you run a tier 1 affiliation, your team is tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have not signed up for this awesome event yet on October 23rd and you're available to play online at whatever the time zone is, where do we go?
You will you can get all the links on dm-north.com. They're all in the article for the Roll for the North. But essentially, you unfortunately need to go to 2 places to actually sign up for this. One is Challonge. That's kind of the online tournament event thingy for Dice Masters. That's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be run through. So you got to go in there, sign up on Challonge, and then you also need to be in the Discord, which if you're not a member of, I hope they'll put a link to it in the show notes for this one. You're going to go to the Roll for the North 2 channel and just type in the word .submit, and that gets you signed up.
Yep, because this is a free event.
100% free.
Yes.
Although we are accepting donations, right?
Yes. Okay, we'll get this out of the way here. I don't.
Elephant in the room.
It's always the awkward thing, right? I don't want to
Shipping
ask.
is expensive.
Canada Post sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It
Period.
really does.
It's so bad. So if you feel like donating to the tournament to help cover those costs, you're more than welcome to. You are not expected to. Don't feel you have to, but if you want to, you can. The link again is in the article on dm-north.com. Feel free to if you want to, but again, no obligation to. We're happy to kind of flip the costs, but if you want to help out, we won't say no either.
There we go. So that is all of the information you need to participate in Roll for the North.
2.
There you go.
I almost forgot.
Yeah, we tend to do that too. It's like almost a second there, and you're like, "Oh right."
We told you it would be your turn next. So at least you had that forewarning, unlike when Kim did it to me, and I was like, "What?" So what we thought we would do for today's episode is we would build a team. So I will not be participating in the event. I have other things that I'm doing that day, unfortunately. I think, Matt, you're going to be running the event, so you're not playing.
I will not be able to participate, because the background stuff takes a little bit of work. So
yeah, but Kim's playing, and she's built a team already.
Yes.
But we thought we would take this opportunity to build a team while we were on the recording with you guys. So we started off by looking at the tier 3 list. So let's go over the tier 3 list. You have Doom Patrol, Defenders, Team Arrow, Marvel Knights, Sinister Six, White Lanterns, and Suicide Squad. So we thought, what if we built a White Lantern team? And then we slapped ourselves silly because that was just a dumb idea. Because White Lanterns
are fun. They can be
if
good.
You can get to buy it.
Getting to buy them is the problem. So
yes.
You have to spend 4 each of the individual energy types. You need a mask, a fist, a bolt, and a shield. And you cannot use question marks to purchase them. And when you're building with this affiliation format, and the fact that there's some things that are not included, such as non-basic action cards, for example, the Bifrost and Friends from the Thor team that have the energy fixers on them, it's going to be really hard to get to that. You're going to have to really hope that you roll super, super good. And who would ever put 4 of those on a team?
A crazy person.
Right? I mean, I maintain, and I have said this before, I've said this to Jimmy on this very podcast, that we should have a sideline in Dice Masters so that if you happen to roll 4 unique energy, you can purchase a White Lantern die and bring it in on your team.
100%. There needs to be whatever. What are they, crossover?
Yeah,
I guess
they're
they're considered
crossover.
crossover.
Yeah. There needs to be a crossover card on every single team at the side. So yeah, when you do pull off the White Lantern roll,
Yeah, the
you can buy
sideline
it.
concept I came to from HeroClix, right? So HeroClix has this sideline concept where you can put cards on your sideline, characters on your sideline. If certain things happen, you can bring them into the game. And I think that would be a perfect opportunity to introduce sideline to Dice Masters, and I'm going to keep pitching that until WizKids adds it to the team. So, but we don't have
Or-
that, and there are no sidelines in Roll for the North.
There could be one for double and dice. Just saying.
There could
That's
be.
true. We can build it. We can build that in our own Dice Social.
Absolutely.
And then
But for
there's
now-
times that you actually roll those, 4, and you completely forget that you even have a crossover character.
Yeah, totally. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked at the other tier 3 affiliations and decided there's not a whole lot of great stuff to choose from there. And if there are, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
How are you going to get to these 6 and 7 costs, right? So we went to...
Tier 1.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We went to tier 2. We're not tier 1 people, Matt.
No. We are
this
tier
is
3
not
people, but
real
unfortunately...
Canadian Nationals. This is not Worlds 2019 Memphis. I am not playing a collector Nobby team. There is not an Iceman in the room. We went to tier 2, and I said, well, why don't we play? Kim, this is your cue.
This is my cue.
Yeah. Why don't we play
Spidey Man.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
And then I got really sad because you know what? Rare Spider-Man Forever does not have the Spider-Man family team ability. He does not have that affiliation.
He's blank.
He is. There's no affiliation on any of the Spider-Man in Infinity Gauntlet. So,
I wonder if
We
they
had to
did
pick
that
different
because of his super rare that gives all the affiliations. I wonder if they decided like meh and did not for all of them.
but they could have just not put the Spider family affiliation on that one.
yeah.
Like, they don't all have to have the same affiliation. We've seen that before in cards where one card has an affiliation and other ones are unaffiliated, or a card has one affiliation and then a different card has another affiliation. Like, isn't that Black Widow agent? Isn't she an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes.
She is.
And an Avenger.
Not an
yeah.
event, and she's an Avenger as well,
Yes.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
But, again, different affiliations, right? So, but we decided to start with Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man affiliation. So where do we want to start if we're going to build with the Spider-Man team? What kind of cards?
Well, do you want to just start with your win con? Because it's pretty obvious what you're going to do.
And what's that, Matt?
I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing Madam Web might be on the team.
You sure it's not Daredevil?
You sure it's not Spider-Man?
Well, I assume Spider-Man's on the team, absolutely, but I'm pretty sure Madam Web's the centerpiece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
the Madam Web that Matt's referring to is the one from the Guardian set. It's the rare version. The Great Web unravels. So when she attacks, you pay 2 generic, and if you do, all opposing characters must block her this turn.
So this is a super cool card. I miss this card. I remember when I found this card, I found it in the times before I was doing Dice Masters on the internet and podcasting and playing in competitive events, and I paired it up with Mr. Fix-It. And I thought I was like the first person in the world to ever put that together. I was really excited. So, because Mr. Fix-It was, what was it when he's damaged? His attack
Yeah.
Doubles or
increases?
something,
Doubles
doesn't it?
or something. And I was like, oh, I'll put a magic missile on there, and then I'll force everyone to block with Madam Web. And I was very proud of myself. And then later I got on the internet with Dice Masters, and I was like, oh yeah, other people have been doing this for a long time. I'm not as smart as I think I was.
Mr. Fix-It. Oh my goodness, that's a name I haven't heard in so long.
I believe
miss
he's
him.
Dice Masters
unaffiliated.
world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not affiliated.
Oh, maybe we should run an unaffiliated tournament sometime.
That might be interesting.
We'd
You
have to
taking
ban
notes,
some
Matt?
stuff.
I sure am.
Double
So-
affiliation or no affiliation.
So, Madam Web, the Great Web Unravels, is definitely something we should talk about for this team. So, if we are going to force everyone to block Madam Web, then we're going to need some stuff that has good attack stats or can be buffed up or what have you, right?
Right. And that's why I
Yep.
think Spider-Man comes in handy. Spider-Man Tangled Web. Which, when he attacks, he gets +2 until end of turn. But if you roll him on level 1, which is his asterisk, all your Spider-Man characters get +2 while they're attacking.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And
Plus,
he has a nice global.
yes. Go for it, Matt.
To pay a bolt and target character die gains the Spidey friend affiliation this turn.
So those your other affiliations, you can make them Spider-Man. Your psychics, you can make Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then they'll all get the buff. Yep. And all you need to roll is some bolts.
Yep. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that is a common Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man set. So
That's
pretty cool.
I think it's from the starter actually. The starter.
Starter
I would believe you.
sets.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Thousands wouldn't, but I will. The only rough part about him is that he's got a 2 fielding cost in his level 3.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
ideally you
but-
don't even want him on level 3.
No, you want him on
That's
level
true.
1.
You want him on level
Yep.
1.
Yeah.
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 So you know what that means? I'm going to roll him on level 3.
Exactly.
That
That's
always
exactly what's
happens.
going to happen.
And then you can be like, I'm going to re-roll him.
Yeah.
A single bolt.
Look, bolts. Well, I can
That does
make this
nothing.
sidekick. I can make this sidekick a Spider-Man family. So what other Spider-Man family affiliation characters would be useful on this team?
Well, it depends what you're trying to do. There's well, the first one I would personally pair would be Mary Jane MJ, but do you need her if you got Madam Web on the team? It's maybe an alternate win con.
Well, yeah, because what she does is when fielded, target non-villain character target non-villain character you control gains Overcrush. If it's Spider-Man, he also gets +1 attack. So it could be an alternate win condition if your Madam Web doesn't come out. She is a 4 cost, right? So you're already
Right.
buying a 4 cost Spider-Man. MJ's only a 2 cost. So it's an alternate way to win.
Yeah, so you can buff up your Spider-Man. Then you can give him Overcrush, and he even gets an extra +1 egg if you do target Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it could be your second one. That's right.
So then that's that's 3 out of 4 slots that you're using for Spider-Man. What would you
Yeah.
put in the last slot?
There's a couple of options. Kim, you mentioned Daredevil.
Yes. So the Daredevil Parker Protector. So when he's active, when an opponent fields a villain character die, prep a die from your bag. Now this
So,
roll
wait,
for the North,
I thought villains were banned.
right? Because nobody's saying two. Villains
Sorry,
is banned. That's
mister.
right.
But there are villains that are double affiliated or triple affiliated, right? So you could have villains that are also Legion of Doom, and those are included.
Right. So if someone wants to bring one of those teams that has technically villain affiliations on them, you could actually use their team against them to help you prep.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's called Parker Protector, which is pretty cool. So he'd be protecting Spider-Man.
Yeah. So if you want to play that game, it might be fun.
Mm-hmm. You could
I
also
still think you're taking a risk though, because you don't really know.
It's risky,
okay,
but it's
yeah.
one of those calculated risks that I probably, if I was playing it, I probably would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But is it necessary on the team? No, it's just for that when you come up against the villain teams, I would throw them out there just for fun.
It's sneaky.
Yeah.
So you could also go with we don't really have any control on this team at this
No.
point. So you could also run Black Cat probability control. And she says, when fielded, reroll target opposing character die. If the result is not a character face, place that die in your opponent's use pile. So you field her and you reroll something annoying that's in your way. And hope that it hits a character face, or hope that it hits an energy face and goes to your opponent's use pile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good for a 4 cost. Get rid of some annoying. Hopefully, get rid of some annoying character.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think, about almost the only control that Spider-Man really has.
I think it's definitely a decent contender. And then there was one other one that you brought up, Matt, when we were talking about this.
I brought up
White Tiger.
Yeah, I brought up White Tiger, mystical amulet. When fielded, you may sacrifice another character to give this die +1A, +1D, and Overcrush until the end of the turn. Sacrificed characters go to the used pile, according to the card, or out of play, according to random rules.
Random rules, the actual rules. Look, that was Amazing Spider-Man, and that was before they mostly fixed the wording.
And it has a nice global pay a fist once during your turn. Each player must field a sidekick die from their used pile if able.
So if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking we have two options to give Overcrush, right? We've got Mary Jane and we've got White Tiger.
Right.
Do we want our opponents to be fielding sidekicks? Probably not.
No, I mean, to be fair, though, if you get Madam Web up, it doesn't matter how big the wall is.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I would lean towards probably more the Mary Jane, also because she's a 2-cost, and it's always good to have a 2-cost on the team.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
So I'm thinking Spider-Man Tangled Web, Mary Jane, Madam Web, and Black Cat would be probably the way I would go.
I would have to agree with the Black.
I'd
Just
probably
for
agree
control.
with that, but I would probably do the stupid thing and I'd bring Daredevil.
Daredevil, yeah.
I would. I would definitely bring. Okay, if I was playing in this event, I would bring something that does something with villains just because.
For reasons.
Because I know someone's going to bring a villain team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
for
we're going to
sure.
put this list of cards that we've come up with that we're building around in the show notes.
Yep.
If you didn't know, there is a button on the Dice Coalition Team Builder at tb.dicecoalition.com that's called Disable Team Limits. You can click that and you can add more cards to your team than you're actually allowed to when you're building. It's something I do quite a lot as I throw things in there and I'm thinking about it and trying to decide what I want to put in. And then when I'm done and I decide what I want, I just remove out the ones that I didn't want. So, it's something to consider.
Yeah, but I agree with you guys. I think Black Cat's probably the smarter choice.
It's always good to have some type of control. I mean, it's a 4-cost mask, so it's not an inexpensive piece.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with that fielding cost, the fielding costs on that Spider-Man set were so bad.
Yeah, they weren't great.
012 for Madam Web.
Yeah.
012 for Black Cat.
But Madam Web was from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, true.
But
112.
Anyway, but yeah, so there's some cool Spider-Man family people that you could put on. So who should we pair up with Spider-Man family?
Batman.
No.
Stop with the tier 1.
Batman. Isn't Batman tier 1? Have you met us?
This is a tier 2 show, okay?
Tier 2, tier 3, maybe. Depends on the day.
Did we actually pick a tier 3 for the second one?
No. We didn't.
No?
We looked at Sinister Six for 2 seconds.
And I made a proposal of a different affiliation that was tier 2, which was Mystics, but Marvel Mystics were not really great and very expensive. Yeah. So we decided to go, keeping with the theme of sort of like a street level hero, we went with Deadpool. Yep.
Yeah, they've teamed up before, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
It's the comics. They've teamed up with everybody.
I think Deadpool's been with everybody. Probably.
I'm pretty sure that DC Comics have teamed up with Star Trek, so, you know, things have happened. We don't have Star Trek Dice Masters yet, but, you know, yet. Maybe one day. Here's hoping. Unlike our friends at the Ministry of Dice, who do not want to see Star Trek Dice Masters.
Yeah, so... What's wrong with Star Trek?
Are we off topic again, Kim?
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with Star Trek. I think Star Trek Dice Masters would be awesome, but in the recent episode of the Ministry of Dice, if you haven't listened to it yet, Chris and Andy did a great conversation about IPs they do not want to see in Dice Masters.
There were some interesting choices in that conversation.
Well, I would say one of them picked some things that I wouldn't call intellectual properties. And the other one picked stuff that I think he picked specifically to troll people in the internet, including Star Trek, because Star Trek has a lot of fans, myself included. But there are a lot of people.
Are you a Next Generation or original?
No,
I gotta know.
Deep Space Nine.
Mm.
Deep Space Nine is the ultimate Star Trek.
I never watched Star Trek other than the new one that just came out.
Discovery.
Yes.
Matt's very quiet. He's obviously anti Deep Space Nine.
No, I'm not anti Deep Space Nine. I haven't watched enough of it.
You're processing.
I put it in the Next Generation universe.
It kind of is. It kind of is in the Next Generation universe, but it is its own thing.
Yep.
And, I mean, I started watching Next Generation. That's sort of when I first started watching Star Trek with my dad. And then I was really into Deep Space Nine, and then I've watched all of it, of course, because that's what you do. But Deep Space Nine for me is home. So I think it's the best one. So anyway, but there are people out there that are maybe against is a strong word, are not fans of having live action pictures of like people on cards as opposed to comic art.
Like, WWE.
Yes.
I agree with them personally.
Yeah.
I like the comic aesthetic.
Which is fine. There is comics of Star Trek that they could pull from. I don't know if it's great comics, but there's more than there used to be. Although with WWE, I was prepared to really hate the way the cards looked.
Mm-hmm.
And once they came out, I didn't think that they were that bad.
No, they weren't as bad as I expected them to be. Pleasantly surprised.
Bad.
Did we lose Matt?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did we lose it? Okay,
I'm here.
He's there. Okay. It's like you stopped mid-sentence. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut out for a second. But
It was very thoughtful and very, very well worded. So
I am
trust me.
I am sure it was. But yeah, so the WWE cards I think turned out better than I expected them to, and I think they could probably do the same if they did something with Star Trek. But anyway, so there is no Star Trek in Dice Masters.
No.
And we're here to talk about Deadpool.
Yes.
Because we have not gone off topic at all today. Not twice or three times. So we picked Deadpool. But interestingly, we didn't actually pick a Deadpool card when we were going through the Deadpool list. So what was the first card you thought of when we thought about Deadpool, Matt?
The first one I always think of on a Deadpool team is Bob, Agent of Hydra. The specific one, if I can read, is Hydra doesn't offer dental.
Of course, that's the one you think of.
Yeah. Well, Bob,
Dr.
Agent of
Teeth.
Hydra is active. Deadpool character dice gain fast.
Okay.
And what's fast?
Characters with fast deal combat damage before character dice without fast. And I think fast is a very underrated keyword.
Hugely underrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was more of it. And I still don't understand why we don't have a Quicksilver with fast, but okay.
How do we not have a flat? Okay, let's detour right now.
Yeah. We're off the rails again. Yes.
How do we not have a Flash with fast? Like, how's that not a thing? WizKids, come on. That's the easiest thing you could do.
Poor Flash, though. I mean, he's gotten some bad stuff. Like
I don't know who at WizKids hates the Flash, but come on.
Yeah.
We have a whole set called Green Arrow and The Flash. And there is no character called The Flash in that set. There is Barry Allen, there's Jay Garrick, but there is not a The Flash.
I never noticed that either.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was my tangent. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Fast
Maybe
is an
in
underrated
Kryptonite
keyword.
they may have maybe done him some good. But
Maybe.
We'll find out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
One day we will learn what happens in Superman Kryptonite Crisis. But until then, we have Bob, Agent of Hydra.
The fastest man alive.
That's right. And he gives the other dead people fast too, which is pretty awesome. Plus he's a 3-cost, and 3 costs are always good to have on the team.
Yep.
So then we looked at the Deadpool cards, and most of them are
crap.
Yeah. So we decided to pick Lady Deadpool.
Wait, so
because-
how is this a tier 2 team then?
What do you mean?
It's a tier 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's good cards here.
okay.
It's not the greatest cards. It's not X-Men. But, there's some good cards here. Just Deadpool itself as a character is kind of weird. Like when you look at the Deadpool cards. Okay, let's talk about them. There's only 3, right?
I believe you are correct.
Unless you start talking about evil Deadpool. So you have Deadpool Assassin. When he attacks, you may assign an opposing character to block him. Oh wait, that's from AVX. We can't use that.
No.
Let me
No
go back
AVX or no Uncanny.
You've got My Set, My Rules, who's a 5-cost fist for Deadly.
And Chimichangas, which is also deadly.
And the added bonus.
Well, you kill yourself in the
Yep.
process of this. When
That's
fielded,
why we
deal
said-
2 damage to all players, so that's your opponent and yourself.
And if that wasn't good enough, there's a nice super rare on that set.
When he's KO'd, which he might be tough to, but KO target opposing level 1 character die.
Yep.
But again, they're all 5-cost fists from the Deadpool set.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And then there's the promo one. Yeah, the family values. Well, he's active. Damage dealt to your Deadpool, Ladypool, Kidpool, and Dogpool. I mean, Dogpool.
Deadpool.
Dogpool. Character dice is reduced by 1.
Kim, I want you to draw a Dougpool on stream.
Yes, I want to see a Doug pool.
How am I need to draw a Doug. I need to find a Doug. Yeah, okay. All right, let me write it to my list.
Okay.
Dogpool.
So they're all 5-cost fists that have the Deadpool affiliation on them.
Yep.
And that's kind of expensive, and it's just not really valuable to put those on their team.
So you
we
said
went with-
instead of a 5-cost fist, we've decided to
with-
replace it with a 5-cost shield?
Yeah, but the ability's better. But the ability's better. So while Lady Deadpool is active, when you use an action die, you may pay a bolt. If you do, you may immediately use the ability of that action die a second time with the same number of bursts. So if you choose some super cool action dice and you have Lady Deadpool active, then you get to do them twice.
But in this case, it'll be
And-
basic action dice.
It is.
Yeah.
That's fine. But because you can't have non-basic action on the team, you do have to pay a bolt to do it. But it's better than playing, say, a 7-cost Doctor Strange that doubles things up. This is a 5-cost, right?
Yep.
So, and her stats are decent, so she makes a good blocker, and she can attack if you need her to. And if Spider-Man happens to be on his burst face, and you pay a bolt, you can make her a Spider-Man family. So,
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
beefy.
there's good stuff there. And then you field a Mary Jane, and you give Lady Deadpool Overcrush. See?
Yeah.
Shenanigans. So that's what I thought that we could do
Okay.
there. So we have Lady Deadpool. Who else do we have on the team, Kim? Who else could we put?
Shakila? No.
Shakira?
Shakira.
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 Those hips don't lie.
I don't know how to say her name. It's probably Shikla.
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 Succubus.
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 Weird name, man. All right, so she's a 4 cost, a mask. So when she's active, at the beginning of your turn, move a psychic die from your use pile to your prep. So that's kind of a prepping each turn.
Yeah, and all she has to do is be active. Just
Yep.
sitting in the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else could we put on here, Matt?
I'm a fan of this card, Kidpool. Earth something or other.
10-330?
Yeah, 10330. If you have an active Deadpool character die other than Kidpool, which you probably will, Kidpool gets plus 2A. So for a 3-cost shield, his base stats are 014, 134, and 144. If you have another Deadpool person out there, all of a sudden you've got a 3 attack, a 5 attack, or a 6 attack character for 3 cost.
Which is
Like-
pretty good.
Yeah, it's not Becky level good, but it's still good.
Becky's not allowed in this format, so. Not even for the global.
Not even for the global, which you need 3 or 4 dice on for it to work.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's what I've heard.
And then the last one we looked at was Outlaw Texas Ranger, and he's a 3-cost bolt. When fielded, you may pay a bolt to roll target die in an opponent's prep area. If it rolls an energy phase, place it in your opponent's use pile. Otherwise, place it in their prep area. So that could be other removal, right? Or preventative, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of mess with their prep a little bit. It's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got some stuff that pays bolts to do that, but I think so. We've got 5 that we picked there. So what would we cut if we had to cut somebody?
If I was cutting, I'd probably cut Outlaw. I think the other 4 are better core pieces.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
As much as I like Outlaw, he's a Texas Ranger, you know.
No, it's a woman.
She is a Texas Ranger.
She is a Texas Ranger.
They are a Texas Ranger. I feel like we're in French class, but doing it in English. So yeah, I think Outlaw is probably the cut there for sure.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to play it. But we've got Lady Deadpool, so that's good. We've got Shikla. Shikla, I think, is female, right?
Yep.
According to the picture, yes.
And I mean, Kid Pool, we don't know. Kid Pool could be a boy kid, girl kid, they kid. Who knows?
We don't know. Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got a team. We've got 4 Spider-Man family. We've got 4 Deadpool. We can make all the Deadpool people Spider-Man family by paying bolts if we wanted to, including sidekicks. Now we need some basic actions, and we need some good basic actions because we've got Lady Deadpool active, right?
Do we want good basic actions or thematic basic actions?
Both.
We kind of went with majority is thematic, I think.
There's one that doesn't really fit if you're going to use it, but it's a good action.
Well, okay, look at it this way. Thematic is cool if we can do it, right? But they still have to be useful because what we don't have really in this team is a lot of ramp. And there's certainly very little prep. Like we've got, what is it? Shikla, move a sidekick die from a use pile to your prep area. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
So you have to buy a 4-cost mask and field it and keep it in your field in order to do prepping. So we need some way to get more dice, right? Because we do have some higher cost characters, 4 costs, 5 costs. We need people to be rolling through the bag. There's a couple of different things we could think of. So if we were going thematic, what would we pick?
I think all 4 that we picked are all prepping.
It looks like, they're all prep and
they're
churn.
all prep. Yes. So let's start with Counter-Strike.
Right.
So Counter-Strike has, is that Lady Deadpool on there and Dogpool or Dougpool and I don't know, maybe that could be Dougpool sticking out there in the corner. I don't know.
Absolutely Dougpool.
It's got a few pools.
Is that Lockjaw?
Wait.
No.
No. Where? I don't know.
We're looking at the Counter-Strike card.
Yes.
This Counter-Strike card comes from the X-Men Forever campaign box. And it definitely has a Lady Deadpool on it. It definitely has a Dogpool on it. It has some other people as well. And it says, Kim?
2 costs. Choose an affiliation. Prep 1 die of that affiliation from your used pile. Move all of the dice of that affiliation from a used pile to your bag. So because this is pretty much an affiliation, tournament, that might be very useful if you want to move some of your dice around.
Plus it has Deadpools on it.
Yes.
Plus it has a global too.
Yes, and the global is pay 1, generic. Once during your turn, prep a sidekick die from your use pile.
During your turn, very important.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, once during your turn. Because you can't do it on your opponent's turn.
No, because none of us have ever done that before. Accidentally.
So I see a couple problems with this action though. It's good, but it's really good for your opponent too in this format.
Yeah, they could buy it off you for sure.
They could buy it and use it. Also, it's not going to work very well with Lady Deadpool. Because once you've loaded your bag, you're not going to be able. You're going to overload your bag.
Yes, good point.
A second time.
That is a good point. So it might not, although it has Deadpool on it, it might not be the best one to put on the team.
Yeah.
Now we did talk about something that would help you with that, right? Like, oh, it was Black Cat. No, it wasn't. Wasn't there something about re-rolling character dice in your opponent's prep area?
That was Outlaw, the one we said.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So the one we would. So if you were going to run Counter-Strike, you might want to keep Outlaw on the team and sacrifice somebody else from the Deadpool side, because you could re-roll a target die in your opponent's prep area. So if your opponent did buy Counter-Strike from under you and was using it, you could pay a bolt to re-roll it, and if it hits an energy phase, it goes to their use pile. So,
yep,
something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at other thematic cards, there is Investigation from the Thor set. Spider-Man is in that card.
He is.
He's hiding
in the background there. He's hiding in the background in the window. And he says, draw and roll 2 dice. So that's a pretty good one. And that would work pretty well with Lady Deadpool, because you would get to do it twice.
Is there a better way to draw and roll 2 dice? Is there a more shenanigan-y way to do it?
Is there?
That might be thematic as well?
Ooh, Superhero Registration Act.
It's a blast from the past, that card.
Yes, that was a good card. So it's very similar to Investigation. It costs 1 more, so it's a 4 cost, but you draw and roll 2 dice, I guess. Instead, you can draw and roll 3 dice unless your opponent KOs an opposing character die. So if they don't KO a die, you can roll 3.
Yeah,
I loved this card back in the day. Loved it.
It's a 4 cost.
I know.
Yeah, but you're forcing you get to roll more, and you're making the decision on your opponent to KO. I mean,
True.
They could KO a psychic, sure.
Yeah.
Give themselves ramp, but.
So yeah, definitely, it is a good option. I do not object, and it is thematic. It's got Spider-Man, Peter Parker on the card. He's not wearing his mask. It's from the Civil War set, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty good one. And then the last one we came up with was another 2 cost, less thematic though. Good action, released from the ice from the Thor set. It says prep a die from your use pile. And that's a 2 cost. And again, it would be really good with Lady Deadpool, because you prep one and then you immediately prep another one. Right? And you get to pick the die you're prepping.
Yep.
You know, the face in the release from Ice kind of looks like Shakira. Or Shakira. Or Shikla.
Shikla. There you go, Kim.
Doesn't it? Look at it. Like, I never knew there was actually a face there.
There is a face there, but I don't know what it's supposed to be.
That's Lady Thor, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh, I'm trying to be thematic here.
I mean, it's uncertain.
That's right.
I'm sure someone out there knows where the art is from.
Probably.
Yeah.
You let us know.
So what would we do? Superhero Registration Act Investigation?
If the goal is to somehow make use of Lady Deadpool, I'd probably go Release from the Ice, and probably Counter-Strike for the global, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any globals. You have very few globals on this team.
Yeah, only 2 on the Deadpool cards. I'm sorry, Spider-Man cards.
Very true.
And you're already trying to buy a lot of pieces, so I think a 4 cost action.
A team where we have to buy 8 cards plus 2 actions.
You have 45 minutes to do it. So
yeah,
okay.
I mean, I have no problem with that.
I would actually go with Superhero Registration Act and Release from the Ice. Jocelyn.
Yeah. Well, I think Release from the Ice is really awesome, and I like the idea of prepping stuff from your use pile, but I'd probably go Investigation over Superhero Registration Act, just because it's 3 cost.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we've got a pretty good team here. We can give Deadpool people fast. We can give them buffs. We can duplicate actions. We can prep dice. We can force everybody to block Madam Web so that everything goes in against, goes in unblocked, or alternatively, we can do some overcrushing. So it's actually a pretty flexible team.
Yeah, it's got lots of tools.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You
Depending
can
on what you come
maneuver
up
if you need
against.
to. So.
Yeah. So that's what we would build. That's what the three of us came up with for a tier 2 team, and please feel free to use any and all of it if you have not come up with your own team yet for Roll for the North.
2.
Yay!
I didn't know whose turn it was.
We're gonna make you do it for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
So, anything
yeah.
else you want to add to that team?
Not that I can think of.
No, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll make sure we include that in the show notes for you so you can reference it. And if you listen to this between October 16th when it comes out, is it 16th?
18th
October 18th when this comes out.
to the 21st.
Oh, the
To
21st.
submit your team.
Is that when the teams are due?
Yes.
The teams are due. Yeah, that sounds about right, but I don't have the date right
Thursday,
in front of me.
October 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. And the
Yes.
reason for that, we moved it back a day, is because, Matt?
Just in case you made a mistake in your team building and you included something that shouldn't have been there, you have time to fix it. Because the last thing
if you cheated.
No.
Overlooked.
Made a boo-boo.
Accidentally picked a
We'll help
card
you put
on
a
a
Band-Aid
band
on
list.
it.
I mean, accidentally put
Yeah.
Becky Lynch on your team just for the global.
Yeah, you snuck it in there.
Yeah. It just, we didn't want someone to have like their team built and then like the night before realize, oh crap, that you've got an illegal card on your team and your whole team's wrecked and then you're just gonna quit and not play. So we're trying to give you time to get it together, like to fix it if you need to.
Right.
It also gives us background time to do background stuff.
Behind the scenes.
The all-important behind-the-scenes stuff that's going to make this event go smoothly.
Yes. So the more time we have to prepare, the smoother it'll be. And I'm not cursing and swearing at WordPress the night before like I was last year.
Sounds like a plan.
One last thing I wanted to bring up for Roll for the North.
2.
There we go. Oh, look at you two.
You got 2 2s.
Was something you added recently, Matt, and that was the early bird draw. So, do you want to talk about what that is?
Well, I think by the time this comes out, it's going to be a moot point, but...
Oh, right. You said the 15th. Yeah, never mind.
So, if you were listening today and you'd like to enter the Roll for the North 2 early bird, you will have to invent time travel.
Yes. Okay, so we'll ignore that. That's right. I didn't even notice the date till I'm looking at it. I'm like, October 15th. Yeah, that's Monday. See, me and Jocelyn don't know what's happening on Monday.
Hey, I said the 16th, and you're like, no, the 18th. And now you're saying
the Saturday, and then the
Anyway.
18th is it, and then I said the 15th.
Which one of us does math?
I know, not me.
Clearly.
But yes, visit our website, dm-north.com. Click on that. All the details are there. All our pricing is there. Everything is there. Ruling is there. Rulings are there.
Yeah, and on the rulings point, if you're not sure about an interaction, reach out to Matt. You can reach out to him on Discord.
Yes, please do that, because the last thing we want is like a surprise on the tournament day that you think it works this way, but it doesn't. So if you have any questions, let me know. If it's something you don't want publicized, I'll keep it on the down low there. If you want to have like a secret combo that you want to know about. Otherwise, I will post the rulings up there.
We can do secret combos, Matt?
I'm sure someone will.
I mean, the rulings are not. It's not like Super K asked this question. It's just they're just random questions.
Yeah, I try to keep it as generic as possible for things, but like if it's such a specific question, then and you don't want it shared, I'll try to respect that. But if it's something that I think a lot of people will ask, then I probably would post it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it for the better good of the tournament, right?
Yeah, exactly. So people know how the interaction is going to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So where can people find you? You can @ you on Discord @Jordo.
Yes. You can mail through the website, which I don't know the email address off the top of my head. Mailbag at dm-north.com. There we go.
Okay. And Matt will get that, and he will answer your questions.
Yeah, Discord's probably the best, the easiest way to do it, because we're running it through Discord. So.
Yeah, and you'll need to be part of Discord anyway. So
Yeah, so that's the safest way to do it.
So we have a bonus for everyone who is participating in the Roll for the North tournament, and you can earn an extra raffle ticket that goes towards prizing. And what's our bonus for everybody, Jocelyn?
Well, it's not for everybody, Kim. It's only for people that are going to do the following things.
Right, and they're participating, of course.
Yeah, so first off, you have to participate and roll for the North. The second thing you have to do is build your team with the Spider-Man and Deadpool affiliations that we built with tonight on the episode. You have to use the card pool that is in the team link in the show notes in order to receive the additional tickets. So you do get to choose from all of the cards that we talked about. There were a few extra cards and a few extra basic actions, but your team has to completely consist of the cards that we talked about in order to get this extra bonus ticket. And what else do you have to do to get the extra bonus ticket, Kim?
In our YouTube video that usually comes out for our episodes, usually it drops at 2 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube youtube.com/dmNorthTV. If you go to our episode 44 and you hashtag Dougpool in the comments, you do that and you submit your team link of exactly what we have, you earn yourself a raffle ticket.
And that's DOUGPOOL, Dougpool.
Yep, hashtag Dougpool. All right, we'll see how much Dougpools we get in our comments.
Challenge issued.
All right.
any last words on Roll for the North, Matt?
That was going to be my last word too.
I ruined it. I'm outta here.
No, I think we covered everything. So thank you for having me. I sure appreciate it.
All right, thank you for coming.
And glad our schedules worked out for this.
Yeah, fantastic. It was great. Appreciate you rearranging your entire life to be with us tonight after all of these missed starts and changes to the schedule.
I'll always make time for you guys.
Oh,
You're the best.
heart.
So Kim, what's next?
Before we dive into Dice Bag, the tournament after Roll for the North is coming up on Saturday, November 13th, and that's Gaming versus Cancer that the Ministry of Dice puts on. All their details on that is on BritRoller6.com. They literally just released all the info for that, so I actually don't know all the details of
Hot
it.
off the presses. It is single set, I believe.
Yes.
Is their theme. So you have to build your entire team out of one set, and the basic actions, if you pick a set that doesn't have basic actions, like the Deadpool set, for example, they will have a set that you choose the basic actions from. So
Yeah.
Check out that information, and there is an entry fee for that. I believe it is £10, so get to your local currency converter, and all that money is going towards fighting cancer.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So good on them.
And our Dice Bag. Do we have a heavy one today?
We have a few things, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, so here we are. So we heard from a couple of folks. Earlier in this episode, you may have heard a new sound effect. Right, Kim?
Right.
So in our episode 43, we said we needed a fanfare sound effect. We have a drum roll, as you may have heard before, and we have an awesome theme song that we insert from time to time. And now we have some fanfare. So big thanks to Jackalope Spam for putting together this amazing trombone fanfare for us, and we really appreciate that. So now we're gonna have to get a soundboard, Kim.
I know. I could just play it right off the bat.
Like, we've got all these things now. We've got multiple drum rolls, and we've got fanfare and theme songs. It's just, we're gonna have to start inserting sound effects. It's like we're professionals or something.
Pew pew pew. Yeah, all the stuff flying in the background.
Yeah. Then we heard from everyone's fave hero Donnie on
YouTube,
as always, and he put some comments in against episode 43, or not against it, about episode 43. He said, sadly, he plays no wind instruments, only guitar. So I think that was again in response to our request for a fanfare. I don't think you can do a fanfare.
Guitar's
on
all
a
right.
guitar. But can you do a fanfare on a guitar?
Challenge.
I don't think
Challenge
so.
him.
I mean, if you can, we would take it. I don't know. Do you play guitar, Matt?
I have no musical ability.
No musical ability, so there you
I
go.
played guitar for 6 months, and that was it.
Yeah, I don't do the guitar. I play piano. So, but okay. So, but we did get a fanfare, Donnie. You probably heard it already in this episode. So, thanks anyway. So then he talked about get the hence. He feels like there's a card that does something similar for the bat family. He said he'd have to try it. So we were talking about, I think, the last episode we talked about the dice social.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we talked about all of the different lady teams that we put together. And Get the Hence was a card that we had put on the team. So that was one there. So then he wanted to know if I'd had any opportunities to use the Thor Global when I was playing my team. And this is how much I remember my team, in that I don't remember what the Thor Global does. I think I did use it at one point. Does anyone remember what the Thor Global does?
This is the... Yeah, you could use the She-Thor, right?
Yeah, it was the She-Thor from the Thor set.
I don't remember. I will
Matt,
pull it
do
up
you-
for you if you want to keep going.
I've got it if you
Oh,
want
there we
it.
go. There you go. Matt, go for it.
This is why we brought you along.
It's pay as shield. Target attacking character die goes to the use pile if KO'd this turn.
Yes, so I did actually use that, and it was kind of cool, but I probably didn't use it to full effect. It's pretty cool to be able to take a character die that's attacking and throw it to the use pile. So your opponent attacks with something, and you're like, oh yeah, sorry, you're not going to the prep area, it's going to the use pile. So it's pretty cool. And because nobody uses it, no one uses it against you.
True.
Which is a bonus. He also said he got the rare Bifrost in a trade as well. He traded it for Thor's hammer, which I believe is called Mjolnir.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right? I feel like it's close enough. And he liked that we put the team links to all of the teams that were played in the Dice Social in the video, so that was great. And then again, lots of comments of the types of stuff we talked about in that particular episode. So I kept saying to Kim that 42 was the answer
To everything.
That's right, which is a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference.
Okay.
So some people picked up on that. Donnie
me.
said that Tom Petty is amazing. It's sad that he passed away. He used to play some of his songs when he warms up on the guitar. And that he really enjoyed this particular episode. It gave great laughs and it didn't disappoint. And tying up, lots of different stuff here. So he's with Nick on the coffee. We talked about how Nick was not a big coffee fan. He would rather have something else as well. He's tried a lot of different kinds of coffee and not a big fan. I think you just got to find the right coffee for you. You can do it, Donnie. Just keep trying. For
Matt,
me, it was
coffee?
espresso.
What's that?
You
My
like coffee?
I occasionally have coffee, and I actually mix it with hot chocolate.
See, that's a good way to do
Ooh,
it.
that's a good
It's
way,
like a
huh?
mocha.
I call it a fitty fitty.
mocha.
Do you put milk in your hot chocolate, or is it
I-
just hot water?
Hot water.
Yeah. So I like to do like espresso with hot chocolate that's made with milk, because it makes it just a little bit creamier. You know that, Kim. I made that for you once.
Mm-hmm. The other benefits of living in Ontario, Matt, you can go over and get coffee.
We have coffee here.
Do
Fancy
you
coffee.
though? Do you have coffee there?
Sorry, we're side thing. We're trying to get Matt to come live in Ontario,
Return to my homeland.
Yeah.
the province of Ontario. Yeah.
Come on, like just think of how much better it would be if you were close by. We could play Dice Masters in person. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
have to. You
as
wouldn't
we
have to
talked
do
about-
everything 2 hours
As we
earlier
talk-
than everybody else.
as we talked about, and then I'd have to live in Ontario.
But again, baked goods.
Yeah, okay, there is that. I'll have to consider it.
Okay, Kim gets all the baked. Well, not just Kim. Rob gets baked goods too, but Kim gets many baked goods. So
Mhm.
if you were here, the baked goods would come. Did you see the pictures of my apple pies from Thanksgiving?
I did. I did.
And they were excellent. And that's me talking. So I have very high standards for my own baked goods, and if I said they were excellent, they were pretty darn good. So anyway, and then we're still looking for suggestions on what we can call the Double and Dice crew, the Double and Double Dice fans, and Donnie came up with a couple of suggestions there. He called us. He said you could be called only the Globals, or the second ability, which would in reference to the Black Widow's second ability.
Right.
There. So yeah. So that was from Donnie. And then our last feedback that we got from the last episode was also on the YouTube, and it's from a newer player. And he has just recently learned about this game, and his name is Gerald, and he said 42 thumbs up, they should do a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy set. So thanks, Gerald, for commenting.
I've never read the book. I only watched I don't know how true that movie is, but... Or was there a movie?
I think there was a movie.
Not with Brandon Fraser, right? Or what's his name? Brandon Fraser?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Remember? Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is where we need you to tell us what goes in the pop culture train wreck section for next episode, and I'm pretty sure that this part of it is it. So, is there a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie? Was Brendan Fraser in it? And if so, was it any good?
If it was Brendan Fraser, it was amazing.
He's the guy from The Mummy, right?
Yes.
From Encino Man. Have you seen Encino Man? That's an amazing movie.
I can't say that I don't think I have, no.
Oh, look it up. Look it up.
There's a lot of movies I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So anyway, so that's the feedback we got from the episode. And that's
nice.
That's all we wrote this week. I think people are busy, and we didn't get as much feedback as usual. However, it is very exciting that we got so much from Donnie and that amazing fanfare from Nick. So big thanks to Nick for that. And I think that's all we've got for this episode, Kim.
Yeah.
So big thanks to Matt for coming out again to talk about Roll for the North
2.
There you go. And if you have any suggestions, thoughts, or comments that you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear from them. So you can leave us a message in a number of different places. You can go to our website, dm-north.com, and provide a comment on one of our episode posts. You can go onto Discord. You can reach out to me at JoceStitch, that's J-O-C-E Stitch, or Kim at SuperK, and send us a message there. You can find us on all of the socials, which include Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at dmNorthTV. The aforementioned YouTube is youtube.com/dmNorthTV, and we are also on Twitch streaming all sorts of things, including Roll for the North coming up on October 23rd at twitch.tv/dmNorthTV. So until next time, on a double and dice.